10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Imagine Britain, not an island, but part of the vast European continent, joined to it by plains and swamps. Imagine solitary bands of Stone Age men plodding from Africa and Spain across these wastes to the limestone uplands of the north. Then imagine a great movement of the earth's crust which tilts the furthest reaches of this continent. The salt marshes sink and fall away. The sea does the rest. Britain has become an island. The Stone Age men give place to the Celtic men of bronze, and they in turn give way to the men with iron, until, in the year 55 BC, Julius Caesar claimed Pritan, as it was then called, for Rome. He came, but he did not stay. In 40 AD, some 100 years later, the Emperor Claudius turned Roman eyes upon Pritan again. Churchill writes, "In the year AD 43, almost 100 years after Julius Caesar's evacuation, a powerful, well-organized Roman army of some 20,000 men was prepared for the subjugation of Britain. Spies were sent to learn of these Celtic islands. One in particular, Lucius Aufidianus Paulus, picks a lonely and dangerous way, the length of Pritan, for his Roman masters.
this furthest spot, reached by myself, Lucius Aufidianus Paulus, in this 795th year of the city. Where further to go? Last edge of earth. Travelers say in these northern wastes sun never sets. Maybe. I see no sun at all. Poor savages. You think I'm some ancestral ghost aroused? Little you know how I come from your tomorrow. Yes. Turn homeward now. Discovered all I can. Homeward. Sunward. What a book. What a book this shall be. A book to outbook all books of science. Geography and People of the Island Pritan by Lucius Aufidianus Paulus. 1. The island Pritan in the southeast is fertile and easy to farm. Here have landed the different migrations of peoples from Europe in different ages. But I make my beginning at the island's other end, the furthest extent of my travels, and for this reason. For the most modern men drive north and west the peoples that they find before them, who themselves have done the same to the peoples they themselves replaced, till in this northernmost, most mountainous waste, a primitive, beast-like people, long forgotten, long untouched. To begin where I do, therefore, is like to begin at the very beginning of human time, and to recount my journey southward from this end of the earth is like to travel upwards through time itself toward the sunlight and the day. Like a hero from Homer, some little local Agamemnon. Aye, the discovery of bronze and the taming of cattle set man free from the perpetual scratch for food, afford him leisure for the luxury of glory, valor, and war. But I know of something you do not. Iron. There is iron further south, and it is cheaper. And iron is on its way. Then your bronze hierarchy will collapse. Such bees, such honey, sweeter than at home. Such bees, though, such a size. Flowers I have never seen. And bigger, taller than at home. The natural history of Pritan. I will out-Pliny Pliny. Wake up, Lucius. Your masters have not sent you to document bees. No game birds, no pheasants. You would have to bring those. On the other hand, nor have I seen rats in Pritan. Pheasants absent, Come, Lucius, this is for your leisure, when your task is done.
If our orders are to move north to Boulogne, it can only be for one reason.
The project in question has been postponed before.
Yes, so much time lost. 100 years since Julius Caesar tried. 100 years.
Priorities. Not all time lost since Julius. Thanks to Julius, some of the kings there pay a tribute to us still. And we have our eyes there.
10th night of homeward journey, from the high ground down toward the jungle of the forest. Yet what a book. It will out Herodotus, if I live. Cattle raid. Celtic people. I marvel at these Celts. That it be a matter of pride for one tribe of them to wipe another out.
There you are, Marcellus. The channel.
I don't see the white cliffs. Tell me, Felix, are they true? The stories about our late emperor, Caius Caligula. Surely they are not true.
But down there on that beach, he lined up his legions for a cross-channel invasion, and then ordered them instead to pick up seashells.
That is not the behavior of an emperor.
And you mustn't believe all you hear about the late lamented Little Boot. Propagandists will be telling you next that he appointed his horse a consul. But whatever gave rise to that story about the shells, Caligula's actions did achieve one purpose. They reminded Rome of something she'd almost forgotten. The existence of that island.
I think I see something. I think I see it, Uncle. A very faint, dark line on the horizon. Britannia? Perhaps this is just a cloud.
More likely a cloud, if the stories of the weather there be true.
Up again, high country, moorland, storm and no shelter. What do we want in this country? Filthy climate, filthy drenched.
Echo tonight. Ma. Romanus. Noli vereri, amici.
Num Latinam skis.
Non nulla verba.
He knew some Latin. He told me not to be afraid. He called me friend.
In Gallia, multa itinere vici. Vestras urbes edificia vias examium ratus sum. Iam ex Gallia regredio.
his way back from some mission in Gaul. Our public works have very much impressed him.
Felicissimos fuisti, regis ego filius primogenitus.
In luck indeed. The son of the local chieftain.
Why you make this journey?
Careful. This Celt may like our Roman cities and roads. But does it follow I can tell him we are reconnoitering to invade?
I am an historian. I travel among different peoples in different lands and find out about their customs and religion.
And methods of warfare?
Amongst other things.
I'm surprised that you, Roman, are on the road in a storm.
We Romans would not call this a road.
You build good roads, fast, between cities. It is not strange to see one of our own people wandering in the rain, but a lonely Roman in the land of the sun. That is strange.
Oh, we have rain in Italy too, though not like this.
Have no fear, friend. You will be my guest, and my father's. And by our law, the guest is safe.
I do hope this prince has understood my Latin aright and is telling his father my interest here is cultural and academic. Don't worry, Lucius. You've been in worse scrapes before. That time in Macedonia. But he listens to his son and not to the druid. Apart from being much to my relief, is also of much interest to me. This sinister priesthood seem not to wield the absolute influence we thought, or else are losing it. So I became the chieftain's guest, under the Celtic laws of hospitality, which seem as strict as the Greek ones. Safe, treated with many honors. Place close to the fire at their frequent and unending feastings.
The first joint of the meat.
After a diet of honey, crab apples, otter flesh, and caterpillars, that was welcome. Highest honor of all, a glimpse of my chieftain's trophies of war.
Water! Dur! Dur! Dur? Dur! Triumph dur bene!
Beloved Imperial Caesar, it is military information you send me for, I know. Yet the scholar in you cannot fail but be interested in this. How like our cousin language Greek are some of the words these Celtic people use. Dur, for instance, compared the Greek idur. They feast in a circular stone hall that is like the megaron of old Homeric days. They sit near or far from their chieftain and the fire, according to their social rank. Highest, of course, the royal dynasty, from whom the ruler is elected, and it will not necessarily be a man. Next in importance comes an aristocracy of warrior knights. And next below them, a class of craftsmen, artists, prophets, and poets, who for their skill are highly honored. As for the order of druid priests, they are and remain to me a mystery. Incidentally, Caesar, you note I speak of Pritan with a P and not a B. The proper name of this people derives from their word preta, meaning chalk. Again, how like our own. I am told, before a battle or important ritual, and sometimes a battle is fought as a ritual duel, they daub their faces with wetted chalk. They are not, as has been done, to be confused with the Bretoni of Western Gaul. They are the Pretani, the chalk-daubed men. We should therefore rename this province, when it is ours, once and for all, Prytania.
Please, Lucius. My father is asking, will you compose a poem for your people in Rome about your travels in our country?
Oh, I am not much of a poet, but I do intend to write a book.
Right.
To write.
We have no writing. We do not write. All our science, all our history, all our laws, the druids keep in poems in their memory. What is right for us to know, the druids teach us. When we are young, those of us whom they choose, they take to sacred places in the forest and teach us there, in verses. Everything in verses. It is easier to learn in verses. During 6 or 7, sometimes 20 years, we are learning these verses. We have no way of making sound into shapes of the eye to see as Romans have.
But that is amazing.
You have seen nothing amazing.
In the days that followed, this good prince taught me many interesting things about his people. What things they pray for most: good crops, good victories. There is a game at which they spend much time, a miniature battle fought out with little men of gold. But I could not master its complexity. Also, it seemed a little magical to me.
Only the druid goes nearer. Is he Namatan Agan? A sacred place to us. Here is our mother born, and over again reborn.
Our river in Rome is a father to us. Yours is a mother.
She is loving and angry. When she is pleased, she waters our fields. When she is angry, she rises and drowns them. Life giver and destroyeress. That is why the druids are important. They know how to please her, they understand her voice, what ceremony she demands, what sacrifices and how it must be done. They are not truly the terrible and romantic stories told about the druids in Rome. They know all the movements of the stars, planets, comets, past and to come. What days will be good for a journey, what days bad. They even used to intervene when tribes were fighting. Still today they will give a verdict in a personal quarrel. They are a force for peace and good.
But what does the name Druid mean?
The wise man of the oak.
Strange. If it were a Greek word, it could almost mean the same.
I think many words in your language and ours are similar. Your words for mother, for father, for 1, 2, 3. I mean, even when you say cat or kinki, we say pat or pimpe. It's less the same, but still alike.
And what does that tell you? It tells me that we are really one family. The people of Pritan are a branch of that one family, long separated from the rest of us by distance and time.
But does that mean you must all come home to the one same father?
No. Your name, for example, Carnarvon.
There is a king in the south of Pritan. Kun Belinos, the hound of Belin, that means. Belin is the god of that people, and their king is the hound or servant of that god. King Kun Belinos is a friend of Rome.
Well, he has paid tribute since Julius Caesar's time, but only as a courtesy from one state to another.
Some spies were shipwrecked on his shore some years ago. Romans. He didn't kill them. He treated them with hospitality, and then when another ship was ready, he sent them safely home.
Such courtesy you show me. He has always been at pains to avoid any anti-Roman act or gesture which might provoke us to invade. But at the same time, we in Rome all know he has been quietly building a formidable Celtic alliance against us. A diplomatic fox, King Cymbeline.
They do not belong to Pritan. Not truly. Our people came to Pritan long before he did.
Peace, they speak a Celtic language.
But they are a different people. The people of Cymbeline come from Germany somewhere. They're people of marshland and deep forest. They have tools we do not have to clear huge trees away and drain fens dry. Well, they've been in Pritan only 3 or 4 generations. They'd hardly been here 10 years when Julius Caesar
Whatever
came.
sort of Celts they are, it's largely thanks to them that Julius' expeditions failed. It was King Cymbeline's grandfather, I think, who held the Thames.
We are a different people. We have nothing in common.
Not even an enemy.
The Druids have always said, we Celts are one people. Onen tua, onen tua. We should ally ourselves in one omni-Celtic European state. A dream. A dream.
Now, in your religion, you practice human sacrifice. I must say, we Romans abhor that. You build a huge wickerwork giant of a man and cram it full of human prisoners to burn alive. That is revolting to the Roman mind.
We have never done that. We never do anything like that. King Cymbeline's people might, or the people of the fens, well, they cut off women's breasts in their hundreds and stuff them in their mouths as an offering to their goddess. They are not civilized.
But your druids tie a man down to an altar and stab him in the back to study his convulsions. And they rip a victim's intestines out while he's still alive and bind them round and round him to your sacred tree.
From the convulsions of death, our priests foretell the future. You do it from the fall of grain, from a chicken's beak, or how a woodpecker's fly. Besides, you throw people to wild beasts.
That is sport.
The Druids tell a prophecy. If we do not unite, we shall all be wiped out. A great foreign army shall come. We shall be facing the wrong way, because we look from our enemy, not from the land behind us, but from the sea. We shall perish, because while a real army creep up behind us, we shall be on the lookout for a demon from the sea. And one of our poets says, though enemy after enemy wipe us out, yet shall we never die. Who kills us, we shall enter into their hearts and drive them mad. Our murderers shall hop, flutter, rear, roar, thinking they are eagles, hounds, lions, things they are not. The last victor of all still shall have to face the demon from the sea. Woe to the conquered, you Romans cry. We say, woe to the conquered indeed. But oh, much more unhappy conquerors.
That makes no sense to me at all.
How can it? So, by our language we seem members of one family. Our understandings are not at all the same.
Canavo, I believe you want Rome.
We shall not make the mistake with these that Julius made.
No. Thanks to his mistakes, we shall not. We shall know better than to beach our navy where these tides can destroy it. But there were other reasons why Julius failed. He was ill-prepared. No reconnaissance. Celtic use of chariots. Gaul here in turmoil, threatening his retreat. His own uncertain political status at home in Rome. By all his errors and experiments, we prosper. As a great man.
A god.
I hate forest. Mountain, marsh, desert, I can come to terms with them. But forest, thick with dark magic, I hate the forest. The savager Celts Carnival spoke of, who sacrifice in hundreds and cut off women's breasts. The Celts of Cymbeline. Make for the safety of the city of the king himself. The 32nd day of southward journey. Drained fenland, causeway, engineering typical of the Celts of Cymbeline. All day long encountering and feeling the need to hide from little groups of people fleeing northward, as fleeing from his capital. It makes no sense. 33rd day. Fenland still. Causeway. More people fleeing from Cymbeline's capital. It makes no sense. Yakil? Aquila? Eagle? Rome? Rome is coming? Rome march against Cymbeline? It makes no sense. – 36th day. Observing Cymbeline city itself, that we already know as Colchester. Out through the gate all day, groups and what looked like families streaming northward. Exodus from Colchester. The city is silent. Oh, Lucius, to be in warm Rome, a scalding bath and oil, and to stand upright. Be done with this crawling and scavenging. A decent meal, and to walk in the honest light of day and stand upright. You always feel this toward the end of a mission. Vow you will never volunteer for such a task again. And when the call goes out, there you are, Lucius Aufidianus, the first to step forward. But no Rome here. Nobody. City, silent as the grave. Those people I have seen before. The princess at the feast where the bard recited. Carnival's sister. The people flee Rome, yet a Celtic princess come.
The Hound of Belen is dead. King Cymbeline is dead.
Thuar! Kunobelinos Bas!
Oh, no.
Thuar!
No.
Kunobelinos Bas!
No.
Thuar! Kunobelinos!
That I do not need Celtic to understand. Difficult news for Rome, and bad if she but knew it for Pritan too. King Cymbeline is dead.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
It is changed now. All is changed now. Let in our so-called brother. Frater Athminius. When he has had time to pay his tribute of tears, he will be escorted to a ship, as our father did once with those other Romans. Bring together the dead men's women, horses, hounds, and slaves, and make them ready for following him.
I do not see him much need slaves. Have much use when women come to that.
Because you have sat long at the feet of unbelievers. He will need more than women and slaves. He will need the strength and prayers of 2 sons to bear him on his way, as this kingdom would be better borne up by the strength of 2 sons. His crown and his power weigh so heavy, they cry out for 2 to bear them. And one of these sons is dead. Dead in his heart and dead in mine, Arminius.
Hang no Latin on me, Caradoc. That sneer is easy.
You hang the letters around your own neck, Arminius.
Athmin, Prince of Pritan.
No longer this long time.
Always. All this long journey from Rome, this dangerous journey to be in time, and still you say I sell my birth and blood?
I say that. You sell your birth, you sell your blood. You ran to Rome.
He banished me because I compromised his neutral policy. Oh, such a sin, such a sin. To have eyes to see how Pritan could prosper under Rome. Such an offense against a great king, such an offense. To have a vision of cities, law and government, to see some sunlight coming from the south. Oh, that's to sell my birth and blood.
You sell your birth, you sell your blood.
Then look to your own blood, Caradoc, who keep me from him in these last hours when we might perhaps have been reconciled. Look to your own birth blood, Caradoc, who bar the castle gate against me. Now, only now do you let me in to see him, when he's dead. Brother, who keep a brother from the funeral prayers, exclude me from the funeral wake, so that my love, my prayers, my memory may not go after him with all the rest.
Ha! He little enough liked your company in this world for me to pollute his dwelling with it in the next.
Your arrogance borders on disease. You inherit the crown and the kingdom. You do not inherit King Cymbeline's mind.
I inherit what decisions must be made. I inherit the danger in which this kingdom stands. I inherit the answerability of king.
He paid tribute. Even his coins are designed on Roman models.
Well, Arminius, look. This hand might be raised to salute Imperial Caesar. Does not this gesture at the same time keep him at a distance? Whilst with the other, we quietly build a Celtic wall. The Brigantian chieftains of the Dee, the Derwent, and the Humber. Their queen, Cartimandua. The chieftains of the Gaulish Celts, who hold the Upper Thames, the Cotswold Hills, the Severn Valley, and the foothills of Wales. Epatic, lord of the Lower Thames, of the Weald, and of Salisbury Plain. The princes Athemodar and Prasutaga of the Eastern Fens. Their princess, Boudica. You can tell your pumpkin-headed clubfoot Claudius, if you ever get that far, that if he wants to make a Caradocus out of me, he will have to limp here himself and hang Latin letters on us all. Take him to the ship. Dead. I am the king. There are no more lands beyond us to which we can ever escape. Your king is dead. I am your king. There are no more people beyond us from whom we can have hope or help. Your king is dead. I am your king. My people, the last and farthest dwellers of the earth, last of the free, shielded till now by fog and far away. Now we are known of. Eyes of a foreign power turn to us, and in those eyes I see an overweeningness no meekness nor good behavior can escape. These Romans are pillagers of the world. To drain the land of all its wealth was not enough for them. Now they ransack the sea and turn their greed upon the little islands of the sea. They butcher, plunder and enslave and call that government. They create a wasteland and they call that peace. The day of diplomacy is done. The day that has come is the day of the chariot and the sword. For which shall we be? A Celtic Pritan or a Roman Britannia? They cannot even get our name right. Rome and all things Roman are our enemy. Let nothing Roman in this kingdom live!
Is that tree a man with a knife? This Celtic terror. Macedonia nor Spain never turned to a nightmare like this. Flight by cunning, or flight by speed. Speed, speed. Shed all, and follow the smell of salt to bring your knowledge safely to the sea.
Not one of our spies returned. Not even Lucius Aufidianus, the wiliest of them all.
The temper of the island hardened around them.
And it'll threaten us, too. The courage and ferocity of these people will be no match for Roman tactics. But one invasion will not conquer them. There'll be rebellions. Their chiefs and chieftainesses will revolt. Their fearful priests...
And be cut down. Their primitive huts of wood and stone will yield to our elegant country houses. Our roads will cut straight and clean across their fens and downs. And where our camps shall be, instead of their old settlements, new place names will appear. High Castra, Ila Castra. Perhaps it is Pritan, not Britain at all.
Strange. The old Greek explorers used to spell it somewhat like that.
Well, Britain it has been since Julius's time. You can't alter that. Right or wrong, she's stuck with it now.